Gator Nation. I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. We were hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal. Something Florida's never done here. But I promise you one thing. A lot of good will come out of this. You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season, and you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season. God bless.
Oh, from the legend himself, Tim Tebow. What is up, our friends? My new best friends in the New Age Outlaw Fantasy League. What is up, everybody?
We're going to give you
the mid-season review on the league here. Joined with Alex and Dennis. Say what's up to the people.
What's up?
How's it going, folks?
So yeah, you guys are with us the first time, so we're just gonna dive right into the teams, tell you what we think happened now. Maybe go over some trades and talk some shit, because we'll see. Alex says today to us, here's the link to their sleeper. I told them we won't say anything, and I was like, all right, bet. And I joined the chat, and within minutes, the bullets are just fucking flying. I was like, all right, I can't just sit here. So I'm part of the crew now. I don't know what that means for me and you guys, but I'm with them now.
And once the season starts, Sleeper doesn't let you leave a league, so we're stuck.
Oh,
Right.
hell yes.
Don't piss them off too much.
I was trying to figure it out. The only thing I could come up with was to archive the last mid-season one we did.
Oh, were you able to get out?
No, you set to archive it, and then you don't get all the notifications.
I just turned all the notifications off.
That's
for that league. For that league, yeah.
We are like their herpes. Can't get rid of us. We're just gonna come back when they're not ready. All right, let's get going. First off, the first team who's in 10th place. You gotta love it. It's Schultz as a
great name.
I know, fantastic team name. Let me tell you, I was just giving my opinions on beans on toast when these bullets came. I said the only thing I'm upset about is I don't have a team to fire back with on a team name. I just had to sit there and take it.
No Vaseline.
Absolutely. Okay, so the one thing here, man, is you nailed CJ Stroud. Bravo.
Incredible.
Bravo. Pick 202. I know this is not super flex, but still, that's pretty badass. And he's already that guy. Like, he's a legit top 10 quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've been starting him in a dynasty league over your guy Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
He's
and
now
so
on my bench.
The Trevor Lawrence Discord over the last couple of weeks has been funny because the fantasy community is falling apart about him. But it's because, everybody expected him to be the top 5, 6, 7 quarterback in fantasy to kind of line up what his like real life play looks like. And it just like the numbers haven't come for the multitude of reasons. And yeah, I just don't think Trevor's ever going to be like the top tier fantasy guy like a lot of us thought it was coming this year.
I think he can still get there. I think he can still get there,
but Stroud, they are asking him to do everything. Mm-hmm. Like, they have no running game.
That's the craziest thing is he's no talent. Well, now I don't say no talent, but he's got subpar talent around him, and it doesn't look like it at all. The O-line's been ravaged with injuries. We all kind of thought like Nico could, put it together. People liked what Tank Dell could do, but nobody saw this. People thought Brian Schultz was okay. He was just kind of a check down Charlie safety blanket kind of guy, and they're explosive.
And I think we were right about those guys. They are those things, but he's just elevating them.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Yeah, so in the fantasy stock article I write weekly, I wrote stock up for Dalton Schultz, and I wrote about how it was kind of expected to, him to be that safety valve and that like comfort blanket for for CJ Stroud. And I'm like, well, turns out CJ Stroud doesn't need any of that. He is already that fucking guy. And he is making everyone else better. It's wild.
Yep.
All right. So we gave him his flowers. Now let's talk about something that's a little bit not as promising. JSN. That was his 103. How we feeling about JSN?
See, my needle hasn't wavered because from Dynasty, this is about exactly what I was expecting from this year. And like for me, it was always year 2 and on for him. So I'm chilling still.
I was expecting a little bit more than this, but I'm not in panic mode at all because he's given us some good weeks. Last month or so, he's given us some productive weeks, which is it's just a relief after the way you started because it was getting a little nervous there. But
yeah, I'm with you totally. I thought he would be better than what he has been just because I just thought he was going to be more or less QB proof in the NFL, and Geno's definitely regressed. And obviously they have 2 established wide receivers that have been there for a long time. So it was always going to be an uphill battle to get, exposure early on. But I don't like his usage. I don't
fucking
like.
Jake Bobo gets in the way too.
Yeah. God damn it.
So yeah, I would say I agree with Alex, and I think Zach is definitely there. Like, do not panic. You got to just eat. You just got to wait. Just wait for now.
Yeah. In the dynasty rankings, I've pretty much kept him right in the same area that he started the season off as. He's not going up. He's not going down. He's just lingering.
I'm not the biggest fan here of having Sharps with him. Having both Seattle got rookies. He's got Charbonnet and
okay with it.
JSN.
Yeah, it doesn't. I just go with talent, but I could see later on maybe when they're both established, maybe trying to flip one, but it doesn't bother me. All right, I'll let you 2 go off. We did the high, we did the middle. We can do the low now.
The lowest of lows.
Clinton Johnson, 109.
How low do we got to look for this one?
They took him. 104. He took him over my boy Zay Flowers. Oh, I forgot about that. Ooh.
Alex, go off, King.
Yeah, that's you, buddy.
I mean, it's like opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And then he couldn't get past Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer is the problem, right? And that's, it's a problem when Josh Palmer's a problem because Josh Palmer's not good. Even Josh Palmer's out and he gives you nothing. He's going from bust to like epic bust real fast.
I would say really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like laughing at the fantasy community. I felt like people were freaking out. I'm like, yo, like I get it. Get your jokes in. That's fun. But like, we don't need to worry. Like, it's gonna be okay. I'm pretty worried.
Yeah. I remember that guy a couple weeks ago on Twitter. He was victory lapping the 50 yards. That was when you know it's bad. That's when you know it's bad, when you have to victory lap 50 yards.
Against the Bears, like Dennis said, in a game where it ultimately required like 3 injuries ahead of you for you to even get the chance to get 50 yards.
And
Josh Palmer's on
the Bears
one
were
leg.
Still pretty banged up. They were past week, on Thursday, they were defensively about as healthy as they've been all year. And no sweat that game. Like, yeah, it was.
Other than that,
Rashid Shaheed, that was a great trade. He got Rashid in 2/3 for Dobbs. So that was, for Romeo Dobbs. Yeah, I said that right.
Ooh, I like that trade too.
Yeah, I do too.
So
yeah, that was a solid trade.
Definitely.
For a team that is this, for a team that's this low, you do have some good building blocks.
He has about every rookie imaginable.
Yeah,
that's true. It's pretty loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Nico and Mechie.
Yeah,
Rashi Rice.
Tutu Atwell. His stocks from where we were before the season to now.
Dude, that's true though. Tutu had literally 0 value before the year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyron, I mean, when he comes back,
Dude,
AR hurt, that kills you.
You got to flip Josh Dobbs, though.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So what are we doing with that one?
I don't know. What are you getting for him though in a 10-team one quarterback league? I don't know if anybody's buying him.
Well, dude, he's like the QB 12 or something.
Guess maybe somebody who's relying on Kirk Cousins. You can
QB 10.
Even just get him a fourth rounder or something.
Yeah,
someone getting a backup for the playoffs. I mean, I think I've been playing him in a lot of super flex. Obviously, that's different, but I mean, he's a good rusher. That's a good offense. I think. What's O'Connell, their coach? I think he's good. I gotta give him credit.
Yeah.
Dude, that was such a cool story, though. I know it kind of got overblown, but like it was really damn cool.
He's the pastronaut. Like he's like objectively very, very smart.
The pastronaut, I love that.
It's such a great nickname. Yeah, he is a rocket. He's like worked for interned for NASA and stuff like that.
Kevin O'Connell has?
No, sorry, Josh.
Oh, gotcha. I thought we were talking about O'Connell. All right, gotcha.
I'm off. I mean, most people are probably off the Chig train at this point. That was a guy I just couldn't buy into. Like, yeah, you had the athletic testing and whatnot, but you're investing in a guy who is down the totem pole on a running offense. Like, I don't know. That was always a hard pass on that.
So was I, but for a team like this, I think it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, for like baseball and stuff like that, I literally have no shares. Okay.
That's the type of tight end though. If I'm going to throw a dart at a tight end, give me the athletic guy. Give me a shot.
That's
if
fair.
He's cheap. If he's cheap.
The last note I got here is the moment Fournette touches the field, you got to be trying to push him too, if you can.
Yeah. I think he could end up legit down the second half of the season.
Did you guys see his tweet when he signed in Buffalo?
About how it was so fucking cold?
Yeah, it was colder than a penguin's asshole or something. All right, that's all I have. I'm done.
All right.
Next up, it's Dilly. He's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, we weren't good to this guy the first time, I don't think.
Well, math checks out. But hey, Sam Howell.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm like way more in on Howell and Dynasty, or I mean redrafted best ball than I was for Dynasty, because who the hell knows what his future has.
Okay, but I believe looking at this before we went on, I think he traded a first round pick for Brian Robinson.
Yes.
Did he think it was Bijan?
We had somebody do that in one of our leagues, not with Bijan and Brian Robinson. It was worse. He thought he was trading for JSN, and he traded for a different hyphenated guy.
Amir Smith-Marset.
That's
incredible.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm out on that one. At least it steals 25, so at least it's likely late. I mean, I just don't think he's very good. He's just a guy.
Yeah, he is.
I'm surprised you haven't flipped Thielen.
Agreed.
I guess it's probably hard to come up with the right value, but if I'm a winning team, I'm going to throw at least a late second.
Yeah.
Just because he's been so good.
Yeah. I traded him too soon. I got a third for him, and I'm regretting it now.
Dude, I bet you if you had traded him a month ago, you probably could have pushed a late first. When he was sitting there catching 10 a game.
Maybe. Man. I don't know though. People are afraid of Thielen at 33 years old. The first is tough. Second, I think I could have gotten a second.
Right.
Although I would kind of wish I would have just kept him. I could use him in that league right now.
Right. Sam Laporta, home run.
Big time.
Yeah, we killed that one.
Zay Flowers, home run.
Yep.
Home run. I'm not worried. People are starting to get a little worried because he hasn't had breakout weeks and stuff like that. Dude, just watch the tape. He's fine. There's a lot of mouths on that offense. And they haven't they've been killing teams too, so they're running like crazy.
Now, one thing we did suggest for this team to do was to trade Tony Pollard, and he did. I'm trying to find the deal. So he traded Tony Pollard in a second, and he got 2 firsts and Jaylen Warren. Now, the firsts are in 2025 and 2026.
Oh, man.
I would have liked them to have been,
at least one.
Because he has no
reaching distance here, but
he doesn't have any of his picks until the 5th this year.
Oof.
Which sucks.
But at least he traded him before the season, I believe. Or no, he traded him a few weeks in, but it was early enough that his value hadn't plummeted the way it's kind of been going the last few weeks.
Yeah, we could talk about him when we get to that team.
But that buying low on Jaylen Warren was pretty solid, though. I mean, he's just been producing. Well, no, his last game was pretty solid. He has not been doing as well as I thought he has actually highlighted.
I mean, I know it's. Oh, sorry.
It's because when you watch that team, he pops because you're sitting there watching Najee. So then, the little bit Warren gets, you're like, "Whoa!" And then you then you go look at the game log and realize he touched the ball 7 times, and you're like, "Oh well, never mind."
Yeah. Najee running one of those parachutes behind him. That offense is rough.
How do you guys feel about Jacoby Myers going forward?
I think he's dead with Aiden O'Connell.
That's kind of where I'm at, which sucks.
Yeah, it does. It sucks. Because I was riding him in a couple leagues. I got him so cheap in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And it was paying off so well. He was doing well with Jacoby Myers. He was double-digit targets a couple games.
He was
Garoppolo.
He was a guy who got paid. He's a guy who's always just been solid. And he was a starting receiver, and he was getting drafted as teams 3 and 4s. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, going forward, I mean, as soon as James Conner is back, I would try to flip him if he can. I would take a lot. I would take anything, really. Just because I guess this team, you kind of need to play for the 101, so maybe hold on just for that.
That's such a cool twist because you're like, I want to. I want to flip Thielen, but if I flip Thielen, then all of a sudden I'm not competing as good for the 101.
That's right. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's a really cool wrinkle.
That adds a whole element of strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then you can't totally tear it down. I mean, you could, but you're going to pay,
right?
Because then you're going to have the worst roster in the 4th pick.
That's right. I don't know how I would play that, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
At least I got Martavis Bryant.
Yeah, I think this league's just much like having mascots. You've traded Gronk twice this year. You traded Zach's favorite player, Tebow.
100% because literally today someone added a guy named Mac Hippenheimer. Hippenhammer.
Yeah, I was unaware of that person's existence.
Me neither.
I thought he was a creative player.
This is Key and Peele East versus West.
But he has actual news blurbs on his profile. I was like, what the hell?
Hey, he's staying.
Are we frauds for not knowing him?
Yeah, definitely. We don't know ball. I'm a casual. I got called that earlier.
Off
Jaren Hall. I think you can drop Jaren Hall and find somebody with more upside.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry for you if you had to start Zach Wilson recently. I did in the league, and I wanted to burn my TV. So.
I had to start him in the Scott Fishbowl last week or the week before because I had bye weeks. Yeah, it wasn't all fun.
That sucks.
Yeah, I did the Chargers Monday Night Football one, and it was. Whew,
yeah,
that guy sucks.
I don't know what I ever started him. I think I started him against the Giants. I think that might have been worse. That game was brutal.
Oh my God.
And we have to watch them on Sunday Night Football this week, right? I think Jets and Raiders.
Yeah, all the primetime games are really
Can't wait.
Or standalone because you got New England.
They're on Black Friday as well.
Because Fox protected Niners and Jags.
Yeah. A-holes.
All right, this team sucks.
Yeah, we can move on. I like it better than what's we call it, but we'll do the tournament later. Better than Schultz is a cunt.
I don't know. I think that team had all these rookies, these pieces we could be excited about for the future. This team doesn't. This team has Martavis Bryant. You meant for this year.
USFL legend Martavis Bryant. You got Laporta.
I loved Martavis Bryant back in the day. Loved him.
Dude, he was going to be the next.
He was going to be the next guy.
Dude, he was part of that Clemson wide receiver factory.
Oh my God!
They were
go back and look at some of those rosters, like some of those years.
We've got an update. We need to tell Dilly to stop trading players away. Sincerely, the team that owns us first.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of walked into that one as soon as I said it. Like, yeah, I guess you kind of have to think about once you do suck enough to get into the bottom four, then you kind of want to get good again.
Yeah,
it's funny because we obviously knew about the bottom four thing, but it didn't even click the strategy behind it until we were like talking about it out loud.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I still don't know how I would handle it. I think I would still tank it.
No, I don't.
And just collect the picks. I think, yeah.
All right, let's go on to Goofy fucking Jazz.
Definitely Goofy Jazz with a Z, guys. With a Z.
That's what I'm saying.
He likes the Yaz flute.
The Mr. Burgundy. You must play the Yaz flute. He's got Trevor Lawrence. We already
not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. I told you to trade him, and you didn't. And now he's not playing as well. And you should have traded him. Sorry,
it's all your fault, Goofy Jazz.
He should make his nickname just the padlock. I love when people do that. Like, I'm not trading him.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, we talked about, he's got the potential to take that step to be that top tier guy, but you have Jalen Hurts, so you don't got to worry about that. Looking at running backs, Jerome Ford is a really nice piece to have the rest of the year, and he may help you get that one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And especially Aaron Jones. Okay, I haven't looked at the next team yet, but this is a pretty solid team for being in the bottom four, I feel like.
And what's crazy is they have 5 firsts in this.
Holy shit. That's half of the first round.
Well, he moved in a really big deal. Moved Brees, Addison, and of course the Dallas Cowboys defense, the best asset in that trade. Got 2 first back. But he already had, that's only one of the first for this year. So, he's been making some moves.
Yes, this league makes a lot of trades.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Nice to see.
I find it interesting that he traded his 2 young guys when he's like in the bottom 4 trying to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for Tyler Lockett and Jerome Ford and a couple firsts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
kind of an odd move, but
yeah, I don't think I would have done that.
I love Brees way too much for that.
Same. And he's not even at like his peak value. He can't be. With Zach Wilson coming off the ACL, all that. It's like
this guy's bench wide receivers are entirely just like team wide receiver 4s.
Well, what about Jameson Williams with them trading for Peoples-Jones?
He's dead.
Some of that is because they want the guy who's going to be out there a lot to be a good blocker. But yeah, I would be panicking if I rostered J-Mo.
Yeah. It's not been going good for him. Just like pretty much since he stepped into the league, the red flags have just been piling up for him.
It sucks because in my career of really paying attention to football and stuff, like I've never fallen for the speed guy, like ever, like the pure speed guy. I've never fallen for it, and he was the first one I did because I was like, no, this guy is different. Fuck.
Yeah,
Alabama.
and like Waddle was probably still my favorite all-time prospect. Not that the best, just my favorite watch. And I was like, this guy would dust Waddle. His speed was different.
In the deceleration too.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I think there's more to it. There's more to it than just like his talent. I think there's more to it.
Oh, totally.
What do we think about adding Kirk and a couple fifths and trading away a second and a third?
I think that's a good deal.
I think so too.
In a vacuum.
Like yeah, especially when you got all those first round picks. You're not going to have a team with like, I mean, some teams in this league might, but you're probably not going to have a team with like 8, 9, 10 rookies. So,
right.
I like that move. He's still young. I just want out. Can I victory lap on Jonathan Mingo? Or is it still too early?
Oh yeah, go for it. It's never too early for victory laps.
I mean, this guy never showed it in college. He never did, and I get it. It wasn't the best situation, but like, usually you'd have some games, right? And it never happened. And I get it. Bryce is horrible right now. He can't stay this bad, but like, whoo. So I had a buddy and I was trashing him when he took it took Mingo in our rookie draft. And he's like, he's going to get 1K season. I'm like, he will never get 1K this year. That will never happen. And then he's like, I'm going to buy you a jersey if he does, and you have to wear it every Sunday. I'm like, fine.
Fine.
I'm like, so I did the deal. So I had update. I go, it would take him 37 games to get 1,000 this year at this rate. Don't think it's going to happen.
I think
it's like 25
we all saw that one
210
coming,
yards. Yeah,
he's
definitely in this group.
Yeah.
I think Goofy Jazz is winning the 101.
It's a good team, man.
So?
Actually, I just clicked on the next team. I think I'm changing my mind.
Immediately regret this decision, like Ron Burgundy. Second Anchorman quote, keeping it relevant.
Oh man. Let's go to the next one. We got the Aioli
right.
Assassins. That's a great name. Big fan of that name, by the way. It's second to Schultz. He's a cunt, but it's pretty good. Jared Goff.
Yeah, I was looking at this team. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a good one. Because Jared Goff he's the QB 12, which is surprising. I guess they've been running more this year. But he's just going to be a solid dude for a handful of years, I think.
That offense is fun to watch.
Yeah, it is.
You got Arthur Smith, my friend. You got Bijan and London.
Oh, you hate him as much as I do.
But dude, this is like a legit starting roster, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Kenny 3-6. Got to be happy. Held on to him. Didn't panic.
I don't know.
Amari Cooper is still just done Amari Cooper stuff this year. Ramondre is starting to turn around. Cook has just been like pretty steady Eddie. Godwin's been pretty okay. We got Turd Ferguson taking the turn up here. This is a good team, man.
I saw Dallas' success rate when he's on the field, when Ferguson's on the field, is like 54%. And then when he's off, it's like 28%.
Telling you.
I mean, and McCarthy loves the analytics. That's what he said when he got hired. So he definitely wasn't lying. So he has to see that and know we have to keep Ferguson on the field.
He's using the wrong analytics.
Dude, But yeah, he's still got Justin Fields. He's got Will Levis.
I'm not sure they're going to be in the bottom 4 to compete for the 101.
I was going to say, that's very
team,
true.
Man.
I don't know how long. When do their playoffs start?
Week 15.
He's 2 games out, though. Or 3 games out of the playoffs.
Yeah, but you the thing you really want to miss is the no one cares ball.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And he's scoring more points than the team that's currently sitting in 4th place.
Spicy.
So it could be a turnaround here. I think Bijan could have a nice second half of the season. All he needs, I know this is asking a lot, but
too much.
All he needs is for Arthur Smith to just crank up the dials on his usage just a little bit. He's been good when he's played.
You're not wrong.
Passes.
You're not wrong, though, because he is getting like 10, 11 carries a game, and he'll go out there and catch 3, 4, 5. So, yeah, there was the one illness game that everyone freaked out about.
Right.
Other than that, his usage has been fairly good. Yeah, so, yeah, if you cranked it 15, 20%.
Right.
And it's another one of those things that's like, he's like, you want to get him in a rhythm and get him going and, let him just get things consistent. And then that's the frustrating part is like,
stop giving John Smith goal line carries and give him to Bijan instead. I think we're all right. He has a nice playoff schedule.
Bijan is only better in short yardage and by far more explosive and explosive play rate than Algier. So I don't know.
You're right.
It doesn't make sense to me.
No.
What are you thinking?
You guys see that video that I put in the chat?
Joker?
Oh my God. I've watched it like 5 times.
I want to meet that guy and give him a hug.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember this was one of my teams, so they're rebuilding and this is the new fucking guy. And so I told them I was loving the rebuild and stay patient and everything, and we all kind of agreed. So I'm happy.
Okay.
I hope they stay in the bottom 4 for you, just because if you can get another one of these blue chip guys, and that's probably the nicest thing about this year is that I think even in a non superflex, I think that top 4 is gonna be very special. So as long as you get in there, you're gonna be good.
He's got an extra first too.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a playoff team first, but still.
Very
I think
next thing he's on the bench. We didn't even mention him. He's been going crazy.
Who?
Yeah,
AJB. He's on his bye week.
There you go.
And he's got Tank Dell.
Yeah, this team's not going to be in the bottom 4.
Dallas
Alex's
Goddard.
boy, Miles Sanders.
Yeah, this is a good team. With first round picks, a lot of young talent.
Yeah,
I really like the direction this one's going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got some players you can build around. With AJ Brown, Bijan, Drake London, Kenneth Walker. Yeah, that's
that Goddard injury might be a blessing because he's
right. Goddard as well,
and then you suck for a little bit, or at least have worse tight end production, and then I don't think it's season ending. I don't think he's gotten surgery. I saw that that's the real indicator if he needs surgery or not, because that means the bone got displaced. So if there's no surgery, he's going to be back sooner.
I don't know. I think this guy's destined for the Who Cares Bowl, though.
Which sucks.
Yeah. But I think it's all right because he's heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm okay finishing in the middle if you're heading, if you're ascending.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. All right, moving on. We're going to go to Ask Me About My Johnson. And his name is Alex.
Kyler's back.
Kyler's back, baby. This is exciting. I'm really excited to watch him play.
I'm so excited. And they released a hype video, of course, because you got to do that nowadays. And, I mean, dude he looks like himself. Obviously, we'll see when there's... Well, he's been practicing in full for like the whole time since he's been activated.
I know.
But it's new offense.
Practicing and playing in a game.
Yeah. Especially practicing mid-season.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not.
I mean, I agree.
It's not camp practice.
It's great news for Marquise Brown and Trey McBride, Michael Wilson.
Oh God.
No, whoa, what was that? You don't like Michael Wilson?
I don't.
Michael Wilson
like
is future wide receiver 1 on the Cardinals.
Arizona only features short kings. We've been over
by the end of the season.
He is too tall for that club.
Too tall. Don't like it. You gotta be a limbo champion to get the ball in Arizona.
So this is the guy that traded for Breece Hall. I think you were starting to say that, right?
Yeah. So I like the move, man. I get it.
And Jordan Addison.
Right.
All right, I'll tell you the worst part about Breece Hall is Robert Saleh. They don't use him enough.
Well, and
they hardly use him.
The worst part of Breece Hall is Zach Wilson.
Yeah, they're playing to protect their quarterback, so they're playing really slow. They're playing the opposite of the Colts, and so it's just a limited opportunity. And then you got Dalvin pounding because he's mad because he's signed there and he's not getting usage. Well, that's because the team sucks and it's not efficient, and so they have to give the most explosive player the ball as much as possible. That's him and Garrett Wilson. Like, you just got to suck it up, buddy.
Breece has more than 12 carries twice.
It's very annoying. Yeah, but
I think I don't know the numbers, but I would imagine that his rushing share in that offense is probably pretty decent.
Right.
I think what Dennis was saying is they're not running a lot of plays offensively by design because they got to protect themselves against Zach Wilson.
Right.
Yeah, but even that game, which one was it? He had a really long touchdown catch. It was 2 weeks ago.
Giants game, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a 2-yard pass for 50 yards.
Yeah, and then they hardly give him the ball the rest of the game when the offense can't do shit. It's what are we doing?
Well,
being bad.
I mean, I don't know if I'm a bad team. I don't know. We're feeding our stud young running back into the ground in a lost season. Maybe they know what they're doing.
Or I'm a Jaguars fan, man. I watched.
Maybe I'm giving them too much credit.
Get pounded 800 times up the middle versus 12-man boxes and still lead the league in rushing.
Yeah.
On the worst teams.
Do you guys know they're in the last 4 games? They of their last 3 touchdowns are all Breece Hall explosive plays. It's literally just him. He's by himself.
They can't do anything.
No.
It's a great time to buy Garrett Wilson, though.
You are very right.
Yeah, their last 4 games, they have 3 offensive touchdowns, and they're all big plays by Breece.
Pathetic. Barely beat Tommy DeVito. Barely.
All right, we'll wrap this up. But did you guys see that their Cowboys are 17-point favorites? That's insane.
Yeah.
Tua, he's got a great quarterback. Definitely with Kyler back, so that's good. Gino's been disappointing. That sucks. He's really hurting a lot of other players.
Yeah.
And Brandon Cooks is dead.
Oh, you got Michael Wilson. We gotta talk about him.
Dude, this is is this guy a Cardinals fan?
I'm sorry if you are. That's being
might be the only fantasy team on the planet with 4 Cardinals.
Gotta go get James Conner.
Yeah, it's true.
That's who they should sell it to. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that this team's in the Nobody Cares Bowl.
That's a good point. Probably Tua is a big part
Waddle.
of that.
Yeah, I think you got some underperformers. Breece Hall underperforming.
Ayuk's been good though. He's just been consistent. I'll tell you what. I am a fan of the Javonte Williams spicy meatball nickname.
He's got my
his
boy.
usage is starting to get ramped up a little bit here lately. Roshan's been heartbreaking.
Somebody tried to warn you.
You did.
If only he didn't have that concussion. I think the concussion changed the narrative. That would have been his RB1 job, not Deontay Foreman.
Foreman looks better when they both play.
Yeah, Foreman's looked good.
Dude, I can't. Just a quick tangent. I can't do Bajan again. I can't watch another minute of this dude. I can't hear more people try and give him excuses. He sucks. One of us probably has a better arm than he does. He has no arm strength at all. Yeah, he gets the ball out quick because he has to, because otherwise the wide receiver is too far away from him to give him the ball.
I heard someone call him Tyson Baguette today.
Yeah, they've been calling him Teabag on Bears Twitter, which is a great nickname. I
That's
love that.
Awesome.
I love that. It would have been great if he could have been cool, but he's not. He had over wide receivers missed him. He can't read a defense. Like, let's get on. Let's move on.
So back to Roshan just for 1 second.
Yes. Go for it.
So I loved him coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And naturally you would think, all right, this is an opportunity that if you still love him, this is a great opportunity to buy him. I don't think so, because he was drafted 4th round.
Yeah.
How many times do we see these guys who are drafted in the 4th round get replaced the next year?
A lot.
I'm not so sure that he's going to even, if you're holding Roshan, you're holding him for the hopes that next year he ascends to the RB1 job. I'm kind of losing hope that that's going to happen, even though I still love the talent.
Yeah, I really like Herbert. I've always been a big fan of him, but he's going into his final contract year after this year. I would anticipate the Bears making a move at running back.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to pay someone because they got the cap.
Yeah. So that would be my
makes sense
expectation.
Because you're going to have another good free agent running back class. Again, it's going to be the same as last year. It's going to be Saquon. It's going to be Tony Pollard. It's going to be Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. And there are some special running backs, but it's not like a crazy RB class in 24. It's more the wide receivers and tight ends and quarterbacks. And I think Khalil will be in the mix, but he's going to be the runner. So yeah, I would anticipate a veteran like Zach said.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty easy at this point for Roshan to just get lost in the mix, I think. Unfortunately,
are we at all worried about Waddle?
Yes.
Trending to be his worst year.
Yes. Because that offense has essentially become run game plus Tyreek.
Are we talking 2023 or are we talking long term?
Why not both?
Okay. So yes, 2023, no long term.
I was going to say more concerned now than long term. But then there's the Dolphins versus good teams thing.
But you can't bench him.
You can't bench him.
You can't bench him.
Yeah. Who we got a Matt sighting? Alf, what's up, my friend?
Get in here.
Show us the face.
Get in here. I'll send you the link. You already have the link. It's in the chat. Get in here.
Yeah. So this year I am worried, just because he's been a little banged up here and there. Like, not crazy. He's played every game, but he's just been dealing with some things. And then Tyreek just right now is at a different level. And it's silly not to feature him. And then the run game, like Zach said, is just really blowing up. And they're just taking advantage. Like, okay, you guys want to play back? Okay.
But he'll
long
tease
term,
you.
he's such a good player.
Yeah, he'll tease you with a couple good weeks though.
Yeah,
right.
It's just he's been more boom bust than ever, and his booms aren't really like huge booms like they were last year. He's not getting those 60-yard touchdowns like he was.
Right.
So you play him every week and you hope, but I'm sad for my boy because I love Waddle so much.
Yeah. All right, are we done with this team?
Yep.
Yeah, we can move on. Sorry. Go Javonte.
Yeah, Orlando City FC. This is a soccer team, sir.
It could be football club. You don't know.
Football club, yeah.
But like our football club.
Our with an,
Not their football club.
Orlando City FC with an asterisk.
Merca, baby.
Yeah. This is a solid team. Again, looking at it.
Alex, you want to go off on Ridley?
I was trying to find the full. Is there a way to see the full nickname on Najee Harris? Sorry, I was just intrigued and distracted by that. Trent Richardson has what? Finish it. I can't see
need
it.
help.
Doesn't show up on the phone. Jump in the chat. Let us know, please.
Trent Richardson has a cousin. That's my guess.
Oh, I love that so much. If that's the nickname. That's better than spicy meatball, and spicy meatball is good.
But I do love the nickname for Calvin Ridley, Agent Zero, because that's kind of what he's been giving you.
Oh,
ooh, snap!
I thought he was going to be so good.
2 weeks he's given you production.
Yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with Lawrence, where it's not a high volume passing offense right now. They're really doing run game and defense because it's working. So
Christian Kirk is finding a way to be productive.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And
a real alpha would.
Hey, I got mixed feelings on him. I mean, I don't think he's dead in the water.
No.
But obviously he's not what I mean, I thought he was going to push to be like a top 10 to 15 guy, like in that range. He's going to be better the second half of the year, I think. And I think he's going to have his games where he's better than Kirk he's already had a few of them when they're playing the like zone teams, especially this week with the Niners with Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw clogging the middle. I think he got a Calvin week coming.
And you said this on the previous show pod. You said that you think that Zay Jones' absence has been affecting him just because of how defense can really focus on him on the perimeter, which I know Alex is smirking just hearing that again. But I do think that's a factor. Like I
but
think
it shouldn't be. It shouldn't have to be.
I agree. It's not a good sign.
If you're that good.
No, you're right.
But I mean, he hadn't played football in 2-3 years, really. And he played in 2021. He played 5 games, and he wasn't right. So I mean, he's maybe the first half of the season is a little bit rusty. I don't know.
Yeah,
but that was part of my analysis.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is far more concerning in my eyes.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, because the price is higher and the production's worse.
Yeah, he was my big move in my primary dynasty league that I bought, and I could have gone other directions, and I should have. He started so good, but it's really just been that one crazy Pittsburgh game where he absolutely demolished them, and it's been, I mean, borderline. Like I'm gonna bench him for Hollywood this week. Like that should never happen. Devontae's so good, like it just doesn't make sense. I don't know how you can't feature him.
Looking at his game log here over his last 5 games. You've got the one game against the Bears. He caught 7, but it was only for 57 yards.
It was like all the first drive too.
Right.
Other than that, his highest total is 4 catches over the last 5. Like, it's bad. And it's with Jimmy. It's with Jimmy.
Wide receiver.
It's with Hoyer. It's with O'Connell. It's with all of them.
Wide receiver 49, 67, 31, 100. And wide receiver 49. So, yeah, it's just not good. And then this being a dynasty league, that's really concerning because his value has plummeted. And at age 31, I'm not sure or age 30, I'm not sure how much it's going to revive itself. even if he comes back and he's productive next year.
And he's one of those contracts that makes it so hard for him to move.
He's gonna find himself.
Like, and the Raiders are cheap.
So fast.
Right? You think he's gonna get the Jets would have to play ball and take a lot of that salary.
If Aaron Rodgers wants it,
yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Aaron Rodgers, Mr. GM.
Yeah.
Age 40 Rodgers. I gotta take another L. Mike Evans. I was lower on him. I didn't think he was bad. I just didn't trust Baker. I didn't trust his offense. But he's having
I thought he was done.
Career year. Yeah. He's
after last year.
Yes,
he could barely produce Tom Brady.
Year. I had to pay Evans and a second to get Deontay Johnson for him in a dynasty league, and I mean now egg on my face. Like, damn.
Yeah, he looks like the same old Mike Evans.
I remember saying that I thought his 1,000-yard streak was ending, and he's going to do it again.
Yeah. And he's still scoring a ton of touchdowns, too.
All right.
And he looks good doing it. It's not like it's, a product of them sucking ass and having to get garbage time. Like, he's leading the charge. Now with the Bucs, I mean, they're really in a tailspin. They might find their way into, like, the Penix range for QBs next year. Tale of two different dynasty values right there with him and Adams. Jacobs, I don't know what to make about him.
I mean, I think he's going to be good the rest of the year because they're going to lean on him so much.
I do too. Yeah.
Do you think
his rush attempts in the 2 games that Aiden O'Connell has started has been significantly higher than what he's done in any other game.
He's getting targets with Aiden O'Connell too, like a lot.
Well, except for this last week, he had 0.
Oh, did he?
In the one previously, he had 11. He had 11. But yeah, that's part of it too. Is they had a big lead against the Giants. They had no reason to be throwing. Most of the time, they're going to be playing from behind. They're going to be checking it down to Josh Jacobs. So yeah, you're right. He's going to get a ton of targets. He had 11 in Aiden O'Connell's first start. He led the team in receiving yards.
Yeah. Well, I know your big concern on him before the season was the wear and tear after the heavy workload. And he's getting it again this year. I mean, do we think he's Derrick Henry where he can just power through it, or is that going to catch up with him? So that's what I mean.
Right. Yeah, he's I think he'll have a good second half based on volume, not based on efficiency.
Right.
I'm worried he's never going to get the contract that he was trying to get either, because for those reasons.
Not after
so much workload, inefficient this season, partly on his own, partly because of the offensive environment, the offensive line. Najee Harris, have we figured out the nickname?
It's like a good team, but like kind of not at the same time.
They're in the nobody cares bowl.
Right. And it's like because some of the vets you're sitting on here are ones like Najee, Ridley, and Adams. Like none of those guys are really doing it for you, and all of them should be.
So do we think Quest for Six stays in this, and then Jammer's the one that goes down, or Aioli?
I mean,
we're all kind of in agreement that I'm just going to go type erosion. Is not going to stay in bottom 4.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at the points scored, Ask Me About My Johnson is very much underwhelming compared to the others in that area of the standings.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Johnson.
Yeah.
But do you think there's a playoff team that might slip all the way?
Well, let's get there.
All right.
Great segue, Zach.
The Mike, Tank Top Mike. Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. There's not much to say there. Even though at times it hasn't looked like quite what you maybe want or expect, but he's still the QB3. So you're good.
His wide receivers, man. Patrick's not the mics.
An underwhelming season from Patrick Mahomes, and he's the QB3.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. He's
running back's a little rough here. Other than DeAndre Swift.
I'm shocked this is the 4 seed.
But if you look at their points, his points are high. Oh, yeah, actually, no. I'm thinking about somebody else. Yeah, that hurts.
Well, they lost Chubb. Yeah,
but Swift has kind of saved the day a little bit. Although he hasn't been killing it.
I mean, he had that one blow-up game. Other than that, he's just been solid.
Yeah, he's been a fine RB2 for you.
And the other thing that's interesting is this team has sold some really good players. Sold Kamara, sold Eckler, sold Diggs.
Interesting.
Yeah. This team really could be a lot better if they would have held on to their assets.
Oh, are they trying to tank this team?
I don't know.
But I don't see why when you're up there in the top 4.
Mike. But I don't know.
And he sold Eckler and Diggs to, Blemming, who's already champ and was pretty much everyone's on this podcast's pick to be the winner. I mean, talk about Richard getting richer.
Woof. Yeah,
DJ Moore. I'm happy with my assessment.
I have no concerns because when Fields is back, he's going to be throwing it right back to DJ Moore 95% of the time.
Someday he'll get a quarterback.
Right, and a little bit of the Shaq. I have to apologize. I was unaware of your game. I mean, I didn't realize how great he is after the catch. He is phenomenal.
Yes, he is.
He consistently adds so many yards, and sometimes like explosive, like 20 yards, just because of his movements after the catch. I'm very impressed with him after the catch. I mean, he's very special player.
Even with Tyson Bagent, he's collecting targets at least.
Yep.
Bagent, I can never remember.
It's because it's Secret Bagent. That's how you have to remember it. That's how I remember it.
Okay.
Secret Bagent, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jahan's coming back though. That's good.
Is he? He needs Curtis Samuel to not be on the field to produce. This is like what you're doing here. Calvin Ridley needs Zay Jones on the field. John Dotson needs Curtis Samuel off the field. Like there's something wrong here.
I don't like what you're trying to say right now.
Yeah, you shut your mouth.
Dotson was a touchdown guy last year. He got by.
He really was.
But that was it.
But he looks so good.
That's what I was gonna say. Like his catches are always so impressive, and he makes so many high difficulty ones. He is a good route runner. He has yak skills. Like what is there to not like about this dude's game?
He's not commanding targets.
I know. Okay.
And Wilson is throwing like crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't like what Alex is saying. I don't think it's wrong. I just don't like it.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is a reality I'm still trying to deny.
Put him on that trade block.
Michael Pittman, awesome. Gotta love Steichen being there. Even it doesn't matter who's quarterback. They're running and gunning. So that's great. He's going to get the volume that he needs. Just need him to get. I think he still needs to be resigned or extended, right?
I believe year 4? So. He's in his 4th year. Yeah, I was actually.
Yeah, and he wasn't a first-round pick.
No,
so that's what you're really hoping for. So if you're nervous, then sell, because I don't know how much I like him outside. I mean, obviously you can go to Chiefs, right, and it'd be awesome. But I would want him in Indy if I have any shares. Sadly, I don't.
Well, yeah, he's getting double-digit targets there.
Yeah, they run like among the most plays every game.
Yeah. That's a good point.
They turn every game into a track meet, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think he definitely takes a huge hit on another team.
Right, on most teams, in my opinion. I told you to sell Jerry Jeudy. I wish he had.
I know. Oh, brutal.
I've been such a hater of him since draft day, since before, in the process, and so
I've never been a Jerry Jeudy guy. I slightly bought into him this year, slightly started to believe, and I'm kind of pissed about it. I had him in a dynasty league. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to hold him. Let's just see what happens. Once he gets a few productive weeks early in the season, then I'll trade him. I'm still waiting for those productive weeks.
Those are the guys
called
that...
It was the Cortland Sutton age 28 breakout. I mean, you called it.
Yeah. So. But I had a guy in that league who was very interested in Jerry Jeudy. He expressed interest, and we made offers back and forth for weeks. And like every single week, I rejected, but then the next week, I'm offering like a lower deal than I offered before, and now he's rejecting because his value just keeps plummeting. And now it's like I literally offered him Jerry Jeudy from Michael Wilson straight up.
It's like when you're I
just want out.
It's like when you're trying to play.
Even then, he's not. I don't think he's going to take it at this point.
It's like when you're playing phone tag with someone, and then when you finally like get a hold of them, you're like, you know what? It doesn't even matter anymore.
So yeah, just going Kittle. We were kind of on with that one. He might be tanking. Like, why isn't he in the lineup?
I was gonna say same with.
Well, he's coming up a bye week. He hasn't adjusted his. I don't think he's adjusted his lineup.
Oh, that's fair. He's got a bunch of buys in.
Yeah. Kittle and Ingram were both on bye last week.
Yeah, sure. Jerry Jeudy was as well.
Want to give you props for your Chubb trade after he got hurt. I think that was nice, adding him and dumping Jacobs. I'm not a big Jacobs
what did you give
guy. Up? It was. He received Chubb in a couple fifths, gave up Jacobs and a fifth. Oh no, he got Chubb a third and a second. He got Chubb a 25 third, 25 second. He gave away Jacobs in a fifth. Sorry, misread that. I just think Chubb's
I guess that's okay. I guess
it's an interesting deal.
I don't know. Chubb, he's certainly a better player. But he's going to be 28 next year.
I'm not touching him anymore.
A really bad knee injury, which he's already had really bad knee injuries in the past.
Yeah, that's fair.
It could be over.
I am personally.
I like the move.
I'm done with Chubb.
Yeah, I don't think I'm touching.
I don't want to.
I'm not touching that Chubb.
It's fair.
Sometimes they asked us about Johnson, so it's just fair to talk about touching the Chubb. You wouldn't. I would.
Yeah. We asked about the Johnson. Now we know about the touching. It's fine.
All right. What about Pickens? I've never been in on him. Once he fell in the draft, I was worried about his medicals. I mean, that hasn't come into it, but I just think he might be batshit.
You mean when he was drafted behind Tyquan Thornton?
Wasn't he? Wait, what about Pelvis Jones?
No, Pelvis went the third. Don't do that to me.
Okay, good.
He was drafted behind Sky Moore though as well, I believe. Yeah. And Alec Pierce.
Healthy scratch last week, so that's always
yeah.
Yeah, Pickens had a little bit of a moment there, but it's because Deontay was out. And as long as Pickett's the quarterback, they're never going to support two pass catchers.
Yeah.
God, I like Pickens. Find me on him.
I like Pickens. I do not like Pickett. Which, if you remember in the summer on some of these, I was pretty low on that offense, and then I started to believe the hype from training camp and preseason at the end. I really regret that one now. I really regret that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of Pickett in best ball and not loving it.
Yeah, me too. I drafted him so much just because he was going so late. And like there was upside there with he had some weapons, he has some running ability. Yeah, I was right with you. Yeah. Damian Pierce though. Done.
I mean, I don't see how he doesn't salvage becoming anything higher than just a dude.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look good this year. And it's like, obviously he's hurt now, but like, it's been a good offense, like we talked about. It's been a productive, effective offense. It should be
where
like
he should have been good. Exactly.
He was never an efficient guy to start with. He would just make a couple of those, like Marshawn Lynch runs.
Right. He runs really hard.
And then
maybe that's the issue.
Everybody kind of like freaked out about him. And I thought the hype was a little too much, but I didn't expect it to be this.
I was expecting him to get replaced in the draft.
Right.
I thought they were going to draft somebody and kind of bump him. And when that didn't happen, I was like, all right, I'll hold him. I think I only have him one league. It's our yards per fantasy dynasty league, I believe. And it's just not fun rostering him. I can't trade him for anything right now.
Well, maybe he's tank top Mike because he's tanking.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Otherwise, you're really mismanaging this roster if you're not trying to tank. But I don't understand why you're trying to tank. You're fourth place, and you had good guys in your roster.
Yeah, that's weird.
It doesn't make any sense.
All right, let's get on to what is this, third place now? Yep.
Yeah.
The Prince.
All right, now we're talking.
All right, this is
some good teams.
I'll say now we're into the fun stuff. We got Joe Burrow, Alvin Kamara.
He's back.
Joe Burrow is so back. That game against the 49ers, they called 15 plays from under center in that game. In that game. Prior to that game, they'd called 16 all season. His calf is good.
Because of the calf, yeah.
So yeah,
always the issue.
Well, totally. But once I heard the play calling shifted that dramatically, I was like, if they're not worried, I'm not worried anymore.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's fully back.
And it's
unfortunately, he's got some issues now with his receivers being injured, but they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think he'll be the tide that raises all boats.
Right.
He'll
the thing that's, he's going to ride or die with Burrow, though, because he's got Heineke and Love as his backup.
Well, he's all in on this offense, so he's got to be very relieved after how they started with Mixon and Chase, too.
Yeah, and you're still in third place, even after that rough start with Mixon and Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Even Chris Olave has underwhelmed.
Definitely. And he's got
I'm still waiting. It's going to happen.
He's got 3 guys on the bench that are going to be every week starters once they're done with their bye. Kupp, Devonta Smith, and JJ as soon as he's back.
Yep.
This is going to be a very, very good team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It absolutely will be.
But Olave.
Oh, sorry.
Kincaid. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Olave he's like the air yards king. But I think eventually it's going to turn into actual yards. Maybe, hopefully. But he's getting targets. He's getting the downfield looks that we want from him. Just
when he's not letting it bounce off his head.
Right off his face. Like ridiculous.
I do think he is absolutely like a 28, point game is coming. Like he's gonna have.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
He's probably a victim of one. Rashid Shaheed has been very good and very efficient, probably overly so. And then they love to bring in Taysom Hill in the red zone, and that's a couple touchdowns that could be going towards Olave. You know.
And I love to check it down to Alvin Kamara.
Yep. Which benefits him. He's got Kamara.
He's got Kamara though, so
right.
He's got the fountain of youth at running back with him and Mixon. They've both been, now that Kamara's back, they've both been solid guys.
I'll say Kareem Hunt has been a lot better than I was expecting. He's pretty touchdown dependent so far. But still the usage is higher than what I thought it would be.
Yeah, running back is the only real spot where I'm worried.
Yeah.
Doesn't got a lot behind those two. And then he needs Hunt.
No.
Jackson, great touchdown dependent in an offense that is not fun to watch.
Hunt's not going to normally be in this lineup.
Yeah, I'm just saying running back wise.
Right. Yeah. If one of those other guys goes down, you need to rely on Kareem Hunt. Yeah. Because you're not relying on Samaje Perine or Ezekiel Elliott, even Justice Hill. I think he's losing his job to Keaton Mitchell.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Tight end room, though. I mean, Schultz has been awesome.
Schultz,
Kincaid's.
yeah. Well,
now, as long as Knox is out, Kincaid, I mean, he's top, 7, 8 tight end?
I think even when Knox comes back, they have to realize, like, hey, like, we can't do what we were doing before, right?
Right.
You think?
Probably.
Yeah, but sometimes maybe we give these guys, these coaches, a little bit too much credit with stuff like that. But their whole offense, it's not even just that Dalton Kincaid has played so well. The offense has looked better when they have 3 receivers on the field and Dalton Kincaid rather than Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, and 2 wide receivers that they were just trying to force out there for the first half of the season. Just didn't make any sense. Khalil Shakir has some juice.
Yeah.
He's looked good. Better than putting Dawson Knox out there.
And I think sometimes we fall victim of just looking at production and not thinking about, like, the benefits of having Knox on the field. Like, he's a great blocker. It changes how the defense plays him. And then also he's just really beloved. Like, that's like Josh Allen's best friend. He's just he's a big locker room guy. Like, he's an important leader for them. So they want him to play.
Huge underrated thing. Knox is a huge scramble drill guy for Allen. And I think that's like a very underrated thing in that relationship too. But yeah, this is a really damn good team. You better hope that Burrow stays healthy or else you're straight fucked.
Yeah, I think adding, like, maybe he's someone that trades for Josh Dobbs.
Right.
You know, a low price ad. And then I know it's always really hard to buy running backs during the season, but I would be looking to add somebody that can
James
have
Conner.
a pulse. Yeah, maybe.
James Conner.
That would be
He's not one of those bottom 3 teams. I think that would be the perfect buy. Short term, not going to cost you a whole lot. That team's going to want to shed him, get something for him. Because I think we agreed that the strategy is to just sell off those players, not go aggressively after the first pick.
Mm-hmm.
Age 28 breakout on this team.
I know, your boy. I've tried to sell him so much.
We were sarcastically calling him age 28 breakout, and then it's actually happening.
Dude, nobody wants that man. Nobody's buying it.
K-Maker's career is over.
Oh. Isn't that the second Achilles for him?
Yep.
Yeah, he's torn
Was
both.
it the same one?
No, it's the other one. Which I don't know if that's better or worse. I don't know.
We're not doctors here.
Yeah. He also has Dawson Knox. So he's got both of those guys.
This is a very good team. Definitely a lock for playoff.
Yeah, and a couple of moves. Here, this one could push.
I think it's worth going for it. I know these other 2 teams we're going to talk about.
100%.
All of us had them as the top 2.
The receiving core here of Jefferson, Chase, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith. Pretty elite there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the best team we've looked at so far by far. Let's go to Steel.
Okay, I gotta say first off about this team. This is my feature team because this guy apparently he's about to go on a trip or something. I don't think he's coming back. He's gonna get murdered by his father-in-law. So this is my future team. Keep that in mind.
The one that wears heels, right?
Yeah.
The father-in-law does.
May or may not be Ron DeSantis.
I think it is.
I kind of picked that up. It kind of felt like I'm not going to tell you it is Ron DeSantis because I can't, but I'm also going to not tell you it's not Ron DeSantis.
This is like that Parks and Rec episode where they go and meet the perfume guy. And he's like, we want to go hunting, but just don't wear anything too bright. Make sure you wear something you can move in. And he's like, Tom Haverford is like, I think this man wants to hunt me.
But yeah, I'm really excited because my team's really good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're gonna take over a winner, man.
Yeah.
Are you sure he put you in his will?
I hope one day we have wills that include who takes over my dynasty team.
Yeah,
I want that. I want that for us.
We'll have to hit up the lawyer league again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, check out this running back
second show.
Dude, I loved this team.
Yeah.
In the first show.
So the running backs are 4 deep. And you're scooting by the Pollard disappointment. It's not even really impacting you that much. Oh, you're 5 deep at running back because you got Monty.
Sorry.
Yeah, we were all like, what the fuck is going on here?
And
then survived the Taylor thing.
Yeah. You get to your receivers and you've got Sun God and Keenan. Like DK is your 3. Oh, yes. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Did the comment come through up on the screen yet?
I didn't even see it.
There it goes. This is what I'm saying. I get in the league. I first instantly get asked about English breakfast. What's better, American or English? And I said, I'm not here for beans on toast. And Steele is trying to put up he apparently he wasn't about that life. And I said, you can miss me with that black pudding too, because that shit is disgusting. You keep your meat out of the pudding. The pudding's for dessert. Okay? So
if anyone goes after American breakfast, that's a red flag for me immediately. I could eat breakfast food every single meal for the rest of my life, and I'll be the happiest person.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I guess Steele said something about American bacon, and I was like, bro, I don't classify bacon in the same thing as meat parts. Like you use meat parts to make black pudding. Miss me with that. So anyways, nice welcome to the league for me. I'm glad my take on breakfast is appropriate.
Yeah, like you were saying, it goes real deep at wide receiver. Deontay and Debo, 2 guys that I think we're all. I mean, I don't know about Alex on Debo, but I'm definitely bullish the rest of the season. I know you don't like Debo. You don't like Yak.
I love Yak. I love targets more, and like downfield targets.
I mean, we don't need to rehash this, but I just want to say again, like Debo goes out and Ayuk did not go off. Just gonna point that out.
That's true. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean that Debo is gonna go off.
I think we were all right on Christian Watson being bad.
Yeah. I got talked into calling him a buy when he was coming off the injury, like a buy low, and I regret it. I didn't feel fully confident in it, and I put it out there anyway, and I pissed because I try to never do that.
So the only thing that like I had on him that like kind of leaned me in his direction, it was that one. I want to say it was against the Eagles. He took like a I don't know, like a short over or something, and then just burned everybody. And I was like, damn, Matt LaFleur getting his hands on this dude, like, figuring him out in his second season. I was like, that's where I thought there might be something. Was LaFleur was Matt LaFleur scheming him up? But yeah, Jordan Love just fucking sucks.
Well, the first couple of weeks, Jordan Love was okay. I mean, his receivers were producing with him, and he was pushing the ball down the field. And I never thought Jordan Love was going to be good, but at least if he's doing that, I thought he could at least help Christian Watson be productive in the way that he, needs to be productive, catching balls down the field, getting open in space and making plays. And it just, I don't know. I should have stuck with my original feeling on him.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think LaFleur is very good offensive schemer. I think he's one of the best from the Cheney tree, if we're not including McVay, because I think McVay is in his own realm.
And McDaniel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll get obviously McDaniel's better. But yeah, I do think LaFleur is a good coach, and so I did think he would be better than what he has been. But because of the scheme, but he's just, I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, this offense is broken, and they just have to run the ball every time.
Yeah, Jordan Love, he's one and done.
Yeah,
Aaron Jones is the only piece of the offense I want from here out.
We're gonna get Sean Clifford at some point.
Oh, I want that content so much. I'm such a hater.
Okay. Here's the thing about Sean Clifford. I remember watching Penn State and being like, this guy's the fucking worst quarterback I've ever seen since Christian Hackenberg, who was the last Penn State quarterback.
And then they did it again. This guy sucks that the Penn State has too.
And
sorry.
And so I'm like, man, this Clifford guy just really sucks. And then I find he got drafted, and I was like, how? First of all. And then second of all, he was like tearing up the preseason. And like, yeah, it's preseason, whatever. But I'm sorry, I didn't even think he was good enough to even make it to that. So what the hell happened?
So Sean Clifford is like the most obsolete player in the entire NFL. This is the second show that we've talked about.
Sorry, I'm definitely not someone who always bents up Penn State and not salty about it or anything. Christian Watson, I mean, if you can sell. You hit a home run with Downs. Sorry. I think Downs is very good.
Yeah.
And again, like we said about Pittman, applies to him too. So I like this wide receiver room a lot. This running back room is incredible. ETN's been insane.
Travis Kelce's on this roster.
Yeah, GOAT tight end room.
Yeah,
and
obviously we haven't looked at the top team yet, but I'd be surprised if the depth overall is better.
Yeah.
It's a very good team.
But maybe this is an opportunity for this team to kind of gear up right before the trade deadline. Try to make some deals and improve that starting lineup even better.
I wish so much Ryan was here so we could troll Kadarius Toney to him.
I know, so bad.
Was this the Bateman Toney podcast? Yeah, he left intentionally because of that.
Yeah, just like the last one because he didn't want to talk about Michael Pittman. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We know you tricked Ryan.
This was the Bateman Toney thing, right? Remember that one podcast we got into it?
Yeah. He told us that Kadarius Toney had top 24 wide receiver upside. Yeah, and now he's sick because he doesn't want to be confronted by that take again.
You can't face it.
I thought at first you were saying that Kadarius Toney was sick and he was going to miss time or something.
No, Ryan. He was going to come on the show and he looked back and he's like, "Oh wait, I don't think I'm going to be sick this week."
I'll pass on that one. I'll just get buried when I'm not there. That'll be better.
Two shows in a row, we just destroy Ryan.
Out of love.
But K. Dotton even has been a decent player.
He hasn't been bad. If you're gonna have a backup tight end, roll with Kate on.
Dude, he's got Michael Mayer.
Backup to the backup
too.
Really?
Backup to the backup.
Oh yeah, on the.
Don't.
Yeah. What? I missed it.
Don't.
I was listening to Michael Mayer. I don't know what you're talking about.
I said backup to the backup.
On who?
Pitts is the backup. Don't do that to me. But yeah, I did see that.
Pitts is the backup on his own team.
Oh,
Jonnu Smith.
Fucking Jonnu, ridiculous. Arthur Smith's usage have to be a troll.
Yeah, it's getting really ridiculous at this point. And the way he talks down the reporters, and the week after he says it's toxic groupthink to bench the quarterback, he benches the quarterback. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's a joke.
Yeah, go ahead. Pollard has to have a good week this week, right? I thought you were about to say something. Sorry, Zach.
His usage has been elite. He's getting all the red zone work. He's getting all the carries. He's getting targets. Like,
better too.
His problem.
I think Mike McCarthy just wants to slam him up in the middle of the offensive line and just.
His problem is
his strengths.
They just unlocked CeeDee Lamb.
That's part of. Well, you would think unlocking CeeDee Lamb would maybe open up the running lanes a little bit.
But on the Athletic podcast, Nate Tice was talking about how in the past month they've started using him as a true X receiver on the outside, way more than they normally do.
He used to be a heavy slot guy.
Yeah. And just this year, within the last month, they're starting to utilize him outside a ton, and he is just destroying people. I think we haven't seen his best still, and that's terrifying. They mentioned that this season, I think your qualification was 95 snaps on the outside. His yards per route run on the outside is just over 4, I want to say. And anything over 3 is historically good. Tyreek on the season is almost at 4 right now.
Yeah.
And I think only 2 people since they started tracking that stat in 2012 have ever finished over 3. AJ Brown and Tyreek are both over 3 currently. But anyways, all that to say, this season with CD on the outside, he's over 4. He's just insane. So I think that has a lot to do with Pollard. But also, you're right though with the red zone stuff. It doesn't add up.
And he has no competition. Rico Dowdle, Malik Davis, miss me. So I obviously it sucks. It's killing me in a couple leagues. But I would just keep playing them. Better days ahead.
What are we doing with this roster?
That's what I was going to say. Do you have to play him on this team, though? You don't.
No, I don't think you are playing him. Once you get these guys back from injury and from their
right.
buys. Maybe
how many teams out there are you able to actually reasonably bench Pollard?
Can we? It's
wild.
It is credit to him.
Package Saquon and Tony Pollard and go just to get Christian McCaffrey or something here. But I think the problem is Christian McCaffrey's probably on that number 1 team. So they're not going to do it.
Yeah, because we haven't seen him yet. So
yeah, no. But those are the 2 guys I want to trade here: Saquon and Pollard.
Just as someone that's been burned by injuries, at the end, I would hold and see what happens in your 2-week playoffs. Because you're going to get there, and you got the team that if something does happen, because football happens.
It really feels like it's going to be this one or Blemming, though.
Yeah, Blemming's team's really good.
This team is really good.
This team's really good. Yeah, I had really by far the highest. This is the only team I've given an A so far to.
Oh, I think For what you're saying, Steele?
Yeah.
Or for Blemming?
I think Blemming might be better, but I've given Steele as my first.
Okay, yeah.
Prince was close, B+. But the running backs was
Steele should go trade for 2020 Damian Williams. If you know, you know.
All
right, let's talk
chaos
about Blemming.
Grenade.
Yeah, that was a chaos grenade. Let's talk about Blemming. Okay, up top is Lamar. Lamar is the QB4. He's only had a handful of like really blow up weeks, but he's legit playing like MVP good. This is one of the weirdest seasons I've ever watched in my life. Lamar is legitimately playing MVP good, and his stats just aren't there with it. It is so strange.
They're killing teams. They are,
and he's still QB4.
They're playing too good, and he's not needing to throw the ball as much in like the fourth quarter.
They're just Gus Edwards is getting touchdowns like crazy. The running backs are just rushing it in like nuts. Like I think things will change, but I don't know because their defense is so good.
Let's go. We got a Blemming sighting.
I mean,
dude, their defense has been insane. Yeah, they might be the best team in the league, to be honest.
The Baltimore Super Bowl future.
That's smart.
My three are Miami, not so hot, and then Baltimore, and then my big one is the Niners.
I've got one, and you already know.
Duval.
I got him at 3,200.
I got Miami at 3,000 before the draft.
Nice.
But Jags can beat good teams, so
that's true. Hey, they do have that quality in them.
Shout out to Alex Rashad White. I mean, you were the highest. I think we all liked him. But you were the highest.
Took a while.
Yeah.
I think the last time we did one of these shows, we were starting to doubt him a little bit. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because his catches are finally coming.
Right. And I think that's why we liked him. We were never expecting him to be, this elite runner in between the tackles, especially behind that offensive line. I mean, I expected him to be better than this, but.
Yeah, I mean, he had 50 catches last year, and he wasn't catching the ball.
As a backup running back behind Leonard Fournette, he caught 50 passes.
Caught a ton of passes.
Right, yes.
I got Zach's boy CD. Oh yeah, he's been not this year.
He has.
What do we say?
He's been.
What do we say to the god of death? Not today. That's Derrick Henry.
He's been outsnapped by Tajay Spears in 50% of the games. That's not what we're used to from Derrick Henry.
And has
some
like
of
two
that's got to be script, though, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And in some of those games, he's still getting over 50% of the snaps. So they're on the field together a lot too, which that also played part of it. But it's still
2-minute drill, 4-minute drill.
We're used to a lot more.
No,
the offensive line is so bad though. So bad.
Right. And we're used to one, Henry just absolutely dominating the touches, and two, the offensive line being good.
Yeah, and a more functional offense is getting more, more touchdown opportunities, more goal line carries, which he's not getting as much this year either. Yeah, and he's 29.
This has got to be the last one, right? Like, I mean, he's not going to retire, but like as far as like reasonably effective fantasy seasons for what Derrick Henry is.
If he
depends where he goes.
If he can land in a spot, or if somehow they keep him and they rebuild the offensive line, I still think he can be 85-90% of what he's been.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Zach.
Yeah, it's the cat. We got cat sighting.
Schultz Family Zoo.
Yeah, it's true.
He can still be like 90% of the old Derrick Henry if he's in the right situation.
Yeah, I agree. And Marlon Humphrey said the Ravens were very, very close to acquiring him this deadline.
I was just about to say.
Was he saying they were close, or he thought they were going to get him? Because my interpretation of just what I saw from the quotes. He was 85% sure they were going to get him. It wasn't 85% sure that he knew they were. I don't know how to phrase that.
I see what
I know
you're
you're
trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I
Like
don't
he didn't
know.
have any inside information. I think he just, reading the media reports and seeing the weakness on that roster, and
I remember the last pod we did, though. I said we were talking about Derrick Henry getting traded. I was like, dude, Baltimore, that would just be disgusting.
Yes.
Free agent, and then Dobbins is a free agent too. I have Dobbs on the mind. I can't stop saying it. Dobbins, JK.
Yeah.
He's gone injured. I mean, it's a perfect, collision. But I mean, the star power on this team is bananas. CD, Stephon, Christian McCaffrey. You got Tyreek, Puka Nacua.
Damn.
Gibbs. Like, this starting lineup has to get like
whoa,
so many moments.
How did you just forget Mac Hippenhammer?
Mac Hippenhammer. The GOAT.
Listen, I've come around.
0% rostered on Sleeper.
I've come around on the Tebow front. I understand the bit, and I get it, But I think it's time to truly cut bait, and it's fucking Mac Hippenhammer time, baby. You've got a new mascot in town.
You got A-Chain on IR.
Damn.
Or A-Chan, sorry.
Jesus.
I wish it was still A-Chain.
Me too. It's so much
easier. I beat you to it.
That's how it reads. Yeah, you said it simultaneously.
I mean, this team is. Like I said, I wanted to give Steele. That was my preseason. This team's special.
And he's got a first from a big deal who is in 9th. Like, this dude's got a legit shot at a top. Well, probably a top 4 pick.
I mean, we talked about Henry and Rashad White for 10 minutes, and then those are RB3 and 4.
That's whack.
He also got basically CMC on injured reserve.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, RB4 and 5. Sorry, forgot about A-Chan.
My Tim Tebow comments were very mild today. You got to at least give me that. In comparison.
You Tebow in?
He was.
Yes. I don't know if you can do this live, but can we get that pass of him in practice throwing the wobbler? It's like 25 yards off target. It would just make me happy.
Whip it up real quick.
You don't have to. I think we all have it. We all have it in our back of our mind. We know, but maybe for the end of the show, that could be how we've just a nice bookend. One at each end.
I like it.
But yeah, you said it already with CD. Obviously incredible. Stephon Diggs still incredible. Eckler's been a little disappointing, and it's like, but if you look at the game logs, he's still doing very well. And with the injury to Mike Williams and Joshua Palmer, and Quentin Johnson being Quentin Johnson, I don't see how he doesn't eat. You know what I mean? And then I really like this team. Brock Purdy's been, obviously he's had some struggles, but I think a lot of that has to do with Trent Williams being out. He's just such a demigod at O-line. It affects his offense so much. What do you think about Gibbs going forward? Are we worried with Monty?
Compared to what he has been doing the last few weeks, yes.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
You thought people were butthurt about Gibbs like a couple weeks ago. Now that we've seen him and Campbell's about to take him away, it's going to get worse.
So do we think, I'm guessing I know the answer to this, but do we think it's going to go back to how it was at the beginning of the season?
I don't think it's going to go back that hard.
No.
Right. We're going to be in the middle, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Do we think it's going to be...
Fantasy people are still going to be big time mad, though.
Oh, so mad.
Yeah,
but do we think it's going to be like what we thought, where he's getting like 10 to 12 touches a game.
I hope so, because he's fucking electric.
I don't see how you go back. I don't see how you get the toothpaste back in the tube. You saw him take over games.
Right.
Yeah, but I think they love Montgomery way too much.
And to Monty's credit, because I watched him for years in Chicago, he looks more explosive. So
he does.
To his credit. But I mean, Tyreek, he's an animal. Of course, the game I bet him to score a touchdown is only the second time all year he doesn't score a touchdown.
Classic.
Yep. He could have had one. He dropped a touchdown. I mean, he dropped a deep pass that was on his fingertips. Very unlike him. We mentioned it on the previous pod. TJ Hockenson. If you're not going to have Kelsey, it's probably the guy you want. And I know people would say Mark Andrews, but I almost like without Lamar kind of being different. Obviously, it hurts no Kirk, but the Pasternot's there, so he's going to be fine. Tight end's 8 in Arizona.
Dude, if you look at Hawk, so he's got one game, he had 3 targets. Other than that, his lowest target total is 8.
Yeah. Like, he's legitimately going to have Karen Cloran on the bench every week. And
it's crazy.
Probably, I don't know who you bench out of White or Henry.
So this guy's just, this is a fantastic just team build in general, because he's got the big time quarterback who's young. You're loaded with studs, like, bona fide blue chip studs. You have some of them that are veterans. You have a couple rookie studs with Gibbs and Puka and Garrett Wilson in his second year.
Garrett Wilson, we haven't even mentioned.
You're sitting on Devon A-Chain. You're sitting on a really solid first round pick. This team's a problem, and it's going to be a problem for years.
And then his backup tight end is Cole Kmet, who I have to say sorry, Cole Kmet. I'm sorry. He looks good now. Mm-hmm. He really does. He's doing all the things I shit on him for, breaking tackles. Now he's doing it. Getting open. Now he's doing it. He had a contested catch. I'd never seen that before out of him. Like, T. Higgins. We didn't even say T. Higgins. Like, this team is ridiculous. I know the draft picks. I know, dude. I know.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. he's got like 5 seconds.
Doing it without even trading all those picks away. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is the most incredible. This is one of the best dynasty teams I've seen.
Oh yeah, 100%. This team is not going anywhere for a long time.
So,
oh my gosh, did we look at 25? Okay, I'll take it back. You were right to look at the draft picks.
Whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No
25 first round picks.
No way.
Hell yes.
This league needs to start colluding against this guy, or they're never going to have a chance.
Yeah, he's the one that, remember, we were talking about the traded for Eckler and Keenan, and he flipped Keenan for first. Like, wow. Ooh. You know those leagues where that website, I think, is it MFL? I don't know. Where you can go on, you can sell a dynasty league. What would someone pay for this? You could have fucked this up if you tried.
Yeah, this is great stuff right here. I will say, in the middle of our recording, we've got a player nickname update. It's Dennis's guy, Tyson Bagent. He his new nickname, Bears and Dennis's QB1.
I don't like any of that. This is passive harassment. That's what it is. Shout out Schitt's Creek.
That's fantastic.
No, I'm fucking with you, Harris. Oh, we love the comments. Keep them coming. All right. This team. Good googly moogly. A++.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Do we want to go through the whole toilet bowl, who cares bowl, championship.
Yeah.
You pick a winner
Yeah,
for each one.
Yeah. So I think we agreed that the Assassins, right? Was it the Assassins?
Yeah.
Are not gonna remain in that bottom 4.
Yeah, that team is better than their record.
And
Agreed.
you think ask me about my Johnson's gonna slide down to the bottom 4?
Yeah, or maybe, I mean, if the Mike is committed, they have a big lead, but I mean, there's still a lot of season. Actually, probably not 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 5 weeks. No, they can't blow 3 games.
I mean, if he tried,
it'd be hard. Yeah, I agree with that.
It's dependent more on just you losing.
Yeah. So out of those 4, I think I would be leaving McJamie, or what is it, McJammer?
McJammer, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, because you've got the Kyler return. You would think that Brees is gonna probably have better usage in the second half.
McJammer does not own his first round pick.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go. I should have done this earlier. Oh no, because I'm not in the league, I can't go to the trade tab. That would have made this a lot easier. Shit. I'm trying to find out who has his pick. Okay.
Well, probably the dude who has 5 first.
Probably. the number 1 team has all the picks.
Yeah, it's Goofy Jazz has them.
Jazz.
Yeah, he's got McJammer's pick.
Clutch for him.
Does he have his own pick still?
Yep.
Perfect.
And he's got Quest's pick, who's
he's got he's got 5 first round picks.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I think go ahead.
Was it this? No, it wasn't this team. I was thinking this was the team with all those rookies, but it's not.
No, that's the.
But they're about to be. They're about to be that team.
Yeah.
Just had to get it in one last time. Yeah. All right. No cares bowl.
I think it's going to be Aioli and Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But who cares?
Or Mike.
Oh.
Orlando or Mike, but who cares? Right.
Who cares?
Yeah, because Mike's only 1 game up there. He might end up in the who cares.
And then I think ultimately it's going to be Blemming or Steele. I don't really see how it's not one of those two.
Yeah, I know we were saying. Go ahead.
Orlando is the 3rd highest scoring team in the league.
Damn.
And he's sitting in 5th place. So yeah, I think he might move into that top 4.
I think so.
I still like. Well, and we got Tank Top Mike who's tanking on accident.
Right.
Tanking on accident.
I hope it's on purpose. Not going well if he's not trying.
And I know we were mentioning the Prince kind of doing a win now move, because he's got a good team. But I think you got to chill. You think so? You think just go for it?
Yeah, I think he's got it. He's got Cup. He's got Devontae Smith. He's got Jamar Chase, Olave. I think he's got to.
I agree.
He's gonna go for it.
It's with fantasy, you get in the playoffs, and then just who the hell knows. So I mean,
right.
I mean, I always say last year Justin Jefferson scored 2 points in championship week.
Right, exactly.
You never fucking know.
You just gotta get in and see what happens. So
maybe Lamar poops his pants in the championship week. You don't know.
Right.
It's happened before.
This team is it's good enough for the chips to fall in their place. So.
Yeah, I mean, you also have Justin Jefferson on this team. Yeah, this team has to go for it.
Okay. And they adding a running back would be big for me.
Yeah, you got to add a running back. I agree.
Because that was one reason why I didn't have them as an A grade, and then I have Steele as an A and Blemming as A++.
So I think if Orlando sneaks in over Mike, that's going to be a pretty wild Final Four.
Yeah,
I think that'll be fun.
I agree.
Cool. Anyone got anything
Orlando, else? Orlando is the only team to give Blemming a loss.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Now we need that Orlando playoff push.
Maybe they have their number.
It's true.
Yeah. Maybe that's the secret sauce. All right, let's get down to it. Who wins it all?
I'm going to say Steele because it's my future team and I love what he's done with it.
Once you take over, you're going to lead them to championship?
Yeah, I've got it from here, Steele, though. Thanks.
Hold my beer.
You know, I wanted to say Steele too, but I just don't think I'd believe it. It's got to be Blemming.
Yeah, I picked Steele on the previous pod, and I would love to stick with my guns. But I just really like what Blemming's doing. I think I trust Blemming to fuck it. They might make another move. Like, I don't know where they increase their output because who do you bench on this team? But I just think this star. He might not start anymore after this. Once Achan's back.
You're right. You're right.
Tyreek's off by.
McCaffrey's moving up from the flex to the RB spot.
Right. I mean, I think once
you got Gibbs.
You got Puka, who's coming up. Like when Stafford's back, I don't know how you bench Puka with how good he's. Like it's just this team is
Achan.
The top level. Like they have top 5 guys, and they have multiple top 5 guys. You can't bench Diggs. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just CD. So I know I've dick ridden enough on him. I should shut up, but I like this team a lot. I gotta give it to him. I'm cheering for you, Steele, so I'm right from the beginning.
Well, I think that does it for us. Thanks for tuning in with us, guys. Apparently, you guys have some sort of spell that you've fucking locked us into your league, so look forward to talking shit with you.
Well, as requested, here we go.